And at this time, I'd like to introduce a very special guest that really, I guess, in the Greek community anyway, really needs no introduction. Uh, Alex Geourntas is with us, and he is the city clerk. He was elected by the Boston City Council on June 29th, 2022, after serving as interim city clerk, and before that, assistant city clerk for 17 years. He's been very involved with the local government here, local meaning the city of Boston, the town offices. He's very active in his community of Roslindale, and he's active in the Greek American community. So it's going to be one of those where do we start kind of things. First of all, we'll start with a good morning. Kalimera, Alex.
Kalimera, Meleti. Stos Anesti.
Alithos Anesti.
Thank you for the opportunity to be with you today.
Thank you for coming in to our studios
Thank
here, and I really appreciate it. So tell us about the city clerk's position. What do people what are your responsibilities as the city clerk of Boston?
Well, the city clerk is one of the three positions that are mentioned in the city charter, and the city clerk is in charge of keeping the archives of the city, all our historical documents and artifacts and documentary evidence of all the city departments go to the city archive, so that's a big responsibility of ours. Also, we register all the businesses in the city. If you have a business in the city of Boston, you have to register it with our office. We do claims, we do trusts. We are in charge of the keeping the minutes and the agendas of all the city council meetings. We post all the meetings of the city from the different departments based on the open meeting law requirements. And, there's a lot of things that we do, and they impact the daily lives of our residents and business owners.
People probably don't. It's a very diverse job. Now, what I read was domestic partnerships, and I'm
Yes.
thinking, is Alex marrying same-sex marriages? What? I mean, I didn't get it.
Well, you can register as a domestic partner.
Oh,
we
there
have
you go.
domestic partnerships. People can come in and apply for them if a couple is together for a certain amount of time. They can register as domestic partners, so they
Yes.
could qualify, for health insurance and share their living expenses and stuff like that.
Nice. So you
Yeah.
mentioned the word. You said one word that's very close to my heart, and you said archives.
Archives,
So-
yes, yeah.
So on site, I mean, not all the archives. There must be an off-site location.
We have the city archives. It's located in West Roxbury near Home Depot off the VFW Parkway.
I've been there.
Have you? Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a great facility. There's a lot of history there. The staff that we have there is very experienced and educated in archival preservation. We do records management, archive preservation, story. All the historical documents are stored there.
Nice.
So they keep very busy, and of course, the history is important to maintain and to preserve, and for future generations.
I would imagine that your office is digitized now.
Yeah, we are digitized. A lot of the archival items are digitized, and the staff works with all the city departments, and each department has like a records officer to make sure that documents are preserved, or if they don't have to be kept, then they make sure that they destroy them in a proper manner.
This kind of records management skill is something that people should be taking into their businesses, into their churches, into their communities.
Definitely.
As a consultant, I go out into a lot of these organizations, and that's what I ask is, what's the condition of your archives? How are you keeping your records?
Mhm.
And they have no record management program. And it's sad because that you need to refer back to it.
Definitely. Well, in the city archives, we have all the historical documents and artifacts of all the mayors, going back to the beginning. So, we have Tom Menino's, who was the mayor for 20 years, all his documents, all his artifacts that he collected, items over his tenure. And of course, Marty Walsh, the same thing. And,
Really?
Yeah, and Kim Janey, who was acting mayor, we have documentary, archival items for her as well.
Right.
So it's a good resource, and there's many other items of archival significance there that people come in and do research, and we have birth records and graduation records and different events that happen within the city. They're all documented at the archives. And the recent one, and we just marked the 10th anniversary of the Boston Marathon bombing, and we have artifacts and memorabilia from that event at the archives, and we've preserved that history for future generations.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's just incredible. So, in your office, when people come in, you have a certain amount of information that's available at your fingertips through the computer
Yep.
or through what you may have in local files, but then you may have to make an off-site request if.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody requests for documents that we don't have in our office at City Hall, they would call the archives. I mean, our staff would call, or they would be directed to go there.
Is your website an interactive website or just informational?
It's just informational right now. You go to the boston.gov and you go to the City Clerk's webpage, and we have a list there of all the items that we do, and there's quite a few of them.
That's quite a bit, right? Would you like to see more things digitized, more self-service options for customers?
Yeah, we're working on that. Yeah, we're always trying to improve our online presence and do some of our requirements that we have to do them online. But that takes a lot of effort and a lot of time to implement that. So we're working on it. Eventually, hopefully, my goal is to digitize the process of applying for a business certificate online.
Yes.
And filing claims online. And right now we have physician registrations, which if you're practicing medicine within the city of Boston, you have to register with the city clerk's office. So we have that online. That's an online procedure which doctors can go on and register and pay online, and then they're all set to go.
Yeah. Now, so where is your office located?
Well, we're at Boston City Hall in the room 601, the city clerk's office. We have like a staff of 15 altogether.
Really?
Yeah.
That many people?
Yeah, and most of them are at City Hall, but there's 5 at the archives.
Excellent.
And as the department head, I have to ensure that our office is operating properly, and we have the staff that we need to address the issues that the general public is concerned about when they come into our office.
Right. So you have to. Do you have a manager that oversees that for
Yeah,
you? I would think so.
we have a director of operations, and
Right.
they handle all the supervisory and job duties of the different employees. And so, we have a very good crew. They've been very supportive, and I've worked with all of them for the last 17 years, and we have a good partnership there, and our work gets done, and everybody's happy.
How did you get started in, we'll say, interested in the politics or in
Yeah,
this sort of thing?
that's it's not like a complicated question, but politics to me was about helping people, and I still have that same philosophy today. But back when I was in college and finishing up high school, my parents owned a restaurant in Jamaica Plain, and we always were there working at the restaurant, and on weekends and in the afternoons after school. And to me, that was like, we helped a lot of people with serving the customers and blah, but we helped people, and I wanted to continue that, and as I went on. So that sort of sparked my interest in politics, is you can actually help people there. So when I was 21, I ran for state representative in West Roxbury and Rosendale, and I ran against an incumbent, a 20-year incumbent. So, but I was 21. It was a good learning experience. I got 38% of the vote.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you did something right.
Yeah, so that was a good starting point for me, and then from that campaign, I met so many people, and like the rest is history, because that opened the doors for me along the way.
What do you have any mentors or anyone that influenced you as a younger person, or anyone you can think of now in all these years?
Well, one person I could probably, and I just saw him a couple of days ago, is Mike Dukakis, because when I was in high school, he was the governor.
Right.
And I says, oh, he's a Greek American. He's the governor of Massachusetts, and that always stuck in the back of my mind. And I could, he's was a good mentor. I always had conversations with him, even when I was in my early 20s in college. I would talk to him all the time,
Really?
and
Yeah.
that stuck with me all these years. And I just saw him at the cathedral at the Easter, the midnight mass, and he was there, and he looks great, and he's still going strong.
He is,
Yeah,
yeah. He's
yeah,
an inspiration. I remember how
yeah,
proud we all were, thinking, "Boy, to have a Greek." Even when I went
yeah.
to Greece that year, I remember in the '80s that someone had said, "What does it feel like to
Right.
have?" We're very proud of him.
Yeah.
Well, we're very proud of you, Alex.
No,
I mean, how
thank
many
you.
people get to be even your level in city
Yeah.
government? I mean, this
I mean,
is
it's a for me personally, it's a great accomplishment, and the city clerk previous to me was Maureen Feeney, and she decided to retire,
yeah.
and that caught me off guard because I didn't think she was gonna retire when she did, but she was a good friend, and she still is a good friend, and she was a great city clerk, and she, sort of laid the groundwork for me a bit, and I, spoke to all the counselors, and being there for 17 years, that does matter, and I think that was a good uh, point of support to get elected as the city clerk. So, I'm lucky in that respect.
You certainly
Yeah.
are. Our guest this morning is Alex Geourntas. He's the city clerk for the city of Boston, and he's very active in the community. Grew up in Roslindale, and we heard the family had a business out in Jamaica Plain. And he's been involved with local, right around Roslindale, many things in the community, and serving as president and board of the directors of the Greater Roslindale Medical and Dental Center for many years. Past chair of the Archdale Community Center Council, past member of the Roslindale Day Parade Committee, and a lifelong member of the Ward 20 Democratic Committee. So this is a lot. And what I haven't even mentioned, that was just community involvement. And you're probably
Yeah.
thinking, well, there was also a few other things. And this is what happens when you've done so much, right?
Yeah.
What are you going to say? So what was it in your childhood and your upbringing, do you think, that made you so community minded? A lot of people don't. We were
Yeah.
joking about the person up in, that's up the mountain kind of thing that doesn't even know community,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And look at you.
Yeah. I'm. It's not easy to explain, but I think being I all the way going back to working in the restaurant with my parents, I think that sort of created the my interest in public service because I was with the public all the time, customers and out in the community, and going to Greek events with my parents in St. John's in the South End
Yeah.
with festivals and stuff, and always trying to be helpful. So, and then when I went to school and college and grad school, I majored in political science, and I got my master's in public administration. So that sort of specialized my skills a bit. And I always wanted to work to help people, so I always worked in the public sector. So my first job was working as a procedures clerk at Suffolk County Family Court downtown, and then from there I went to the Department of Revenue, and then I worked for a city Dan Conley, who was the city councilor in Hyde Park and Rosendale for 8 years. I was his chief of staff, so that sort of specialized my skills a
Wow.
bit more regarding the city council and its processes and the budget process and legislative process. So, all that in totality sort of brought me to where I am today. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's incredible,
Yeah.
incredible background. Now, how was it that you got involved with community television? Because
Yeah.
you for years, I mean, did you start the program with Eleni?
Well, yes, we well back in 1994 and 95, the BNN was doing these community-minded programming,
Mhm.
and I spoke to the mayor and to Dan Conley, who the Mayor Menino and Councilor Conley, and they were supportive of creating a program dedicated to the Greek community in Boston. Because back then there was a large Greek community in Boston, and then we finally kicked it off. And Eleni Vidalis and I, we were the co-hosts. We started everything off, and it became a popular program.
Now, did you know? How did you know Eleni from that point? How did
Well,
you
we had
first?
we were growing up together in St. John's in the
Oh,
Greek
sure.
community and
Yeah,
stuff.
she's
Yeah.
still involved. Your dad was president, wasn't he, at one
Well, he was
point? Or
president
yeah,
of the
that's
St.
right.
John's, yeah,
Yeah.
once, 1 year term or 2 year term. So yeah, so we did the program. We did a lot of different events over the years, and
Right.
and I did it for 10 years, and that was a good learning experience. You get to how to handle yourself in front of a camera and how to interact with guests, how to interview people, and we would go out to the community in different capacities, and it was nice. You would go somewhere and say, "Oh, you were on TV last night," or "I saw you talked about this subject 2 weeks ago."
Yeah.
So it
Well, it's
was,
good. You get
yeah,
feedback.
you
Then you
get
know
feedback.
that,
Yeah,
you're not the only one watching the program.
right, right. Yeah,
But you also have been placed. You were out front for the Greek Independence Day parade. You did announcing.
yeah. I did announce the Greek parade a couple of times, and that was a great experience too.
Yeah.
And we actually have the Rosendale Community Parade, which has been going on for many, many years, and I was on the parade committee for many years. And my wife Nancy and I, we would, the last couple of years would announce the parade there as well. So it
Really?
was like a local parade, and we would announce all the local groups that and organizations that make Rosendale what it is today, and a lot of the support of the businesses that go into creating the parade and making it happen.
That's so
Yeah.
nice. That's so nice. So, Alex, what advice will you have for younger people that are just getting started, and they want to get into to take the route that you did,
Mm.
without saying follow my
Right,
footsteps?
yeah.
What would you be your best
Yeah.
advice right now?
Well, I think working hard and getting your education, and deciding, what path you want to take, and then you just stick to it, and take the advice of mentors and family members, and just you know, hard work, I think, accomplishes a great deal. So,
It does, right?
and for me, I like working hard and coming through, and being very astute at what you have to do,
Yeah.
especially in your different job responsibilities.
Right.
Your reputation is very important. So,
It's everything.
yeah,
Right.
definitely.
It
So,
definitely is. So tell us, what was the name of the restaurant your parents? I have to ask because
Yeah.
of a historical thing.
yeah, it's an archival piece of
It
history.
is. Yeah.
Well, it's Helen's Restaurant. It was Helen's Restaurant. It was on Center Street in Jamaica Plain.
Was your mom's name Helen?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was. Right.
yeah.
Where were your parents from?
My father was from Tripoli,
Yeah.
and my mother was from Sparti.
Do you feel close at all? They were right from there, so
Yeah,
you spoke
directly.
you
Yeah,
spoke Greek in the house.
yeah, we did.
'Cause I,
Yeah.
I heard your Greek before in the Greek program, and of course
Yeah.
Eleni's Greek, and I
Yeah,
thought,
yeah.
wow, to
Yeah.
have that kind of
That was
fluidity.
good for maintaining the Greek language to do that program because you had to speak Greek and in English, and if you had some guests, you'd have to talk to them all in Greek. So that was good in terms of maintaining the language. And still I speak fluent Greek, but sometimes I have a little difficulty with some of the wording, but I get along.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So you spoke Greek in the house,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's great.
yeah, definitely.
That's. Do you feel a connection to Greece right now? Are you? I know
Oh,
that
definitely.
you do,
Yeah.
right?
My wife always says, I haven't gone to Greece yet, but I said, we're going to go. So next year, we're planning on going to Greece. But, even with the city of Boston, we're working on creating a partnership with Athens and Boston. So
Oh, you are.
we're working on that now, and this is just we're at the beginning stages right now. So there's always been an interest to create some kind of ties
Yes.
between Boston and Athens. Boston is the Athens of America, so
It is.
we've been working on creating some. We started this back when Mayor Walsh was in office, but unfortunately he left, and so that sort of stopped, and then we had to go through the transition into the Mayor Wu's administration. So we're working with her,
Nice.
and hopefully something will happen, and
I hope so. I hope
we'll
so.
see.
I know that the Vasilis Kafkas was involved in setting up Lowell as a sister
Yes,
city with
yes, he did.
Kalamata,
Yeah,
which is nice. And
yeah,
what he said to me, because he came in the studio as well, and he said, I just don't want to do this and have it be on paper.
right.
And I mean, I could show you lists of
Yeah,
sister cities, and
and
he goes,
nothing happens
nothing
after. Yeah,
happens.
I know.
So there are opportunities. There is opportunities
Yeah,
for this kind of relationship, and
yeah.
it's
Well, I think for Boston and Athens, it's a great opportunity because, education and medicine. Those are the two big items that Athens and Boston could collaborate on. And then, like my wife Nancy, she works at Boston University. She's in the classics department. She's the department administrator. So, those kinds of connections and programs that like the educational institutions have
yes,
would be a great, you know, uh, a point of reference for Athens to have partnerships and maybe internships and groups that go back and forth, then, between the two cities, and have cultural exchanges and educational exchanges. So, you know,
yeah.
it will be good.
It'll be really good.
Yeah,
It's hard because we've lost our newspapers here,
yeah,
and the television Lainey's program,
yeah,
she had it after the two of
yeah,
you had it. She had
yeah,
it with Anasi,
yeah.
and then
And then it
after
stopped.
25 years,
Yeah,
she says, "I'm done."
I know. It takes a big commitment to do that. It's a lot of work, and
Right.
we people just see us, at the half-hour program on screen, but what happens behind the screen is a total. It's like another full-time job almost.
Right. It takes a lot,
Yeah, yeah,
when I say Kalimera in the morning, I have three
right.
typed sheets in front of me,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I don't have a staff of 15 people.
No, there's nobody here.
There's no,
Where's Teddy?
Where, Teddy, where's the water? We're dying. But we have fun, yeah,
Yeah,
we really
definitely.
do. And I like I said to Teddy, I every time I see him, I thank you. It's almost one of those, I want to thank you for your service,
Thank
because
you.
I said to him quite honestly, Teddy, I'm not sure that there's anyone around that could do it the way he does it, to keep us all together. And
Yeah.
well, I'm sure from when you were in that world,
Oh yeah.
there might have people been, you always get the armchair
Definitely.
quarterbacks that are
Right.
going to
Yeah.
tell you, do
Yeah.
this, do that. But
But my philosophy is we try to help as many people as we can. You know, if we can help them in the city level, I will, and we will. And if we can't, then we always can refer them to somebody that we know could help them.
oh, thank you.
So we do that.
Are you hiring?
No, not right now.
I feel a little bit of my resume slipping out, so I better cover my mouth. It happens. Well,
But we're also involved with AHEPA. The
yes, tell us about the
local
AHEPA.
AHEPA, and been a member for like 25 years, and now I serve on the board of trustees on the national level, and I'm in my first term now, so hopefully I'll be reelected again at the national convention in July in Las Vegas. And being involved in AHEPA has been a great experience. AHEPA has done so many things over the years, from education, from scholarships, from charitable support. And my wife Nancy, she became president of the Daughters of Penelope and
Oh, she
the
did.
Boston chapter. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
and she was before Tina became president. Nancy was the president for like 4 years, and she got to experience firsthand what that organization does and how it helps people and scholarships and all the support that HEPA gives to the community.
Yeah.
And now Nancy serves on the district lodge as the maids of Athena advisor.
No
Because when
kidding.
she was the president, she created. They helped create the first maids chapter in Boston.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a nice accomplishment. It's nice to get the younger population involved with an organization such as IHEPA, because you start young, as the maids. We have the Sons of Pericles, and then you become members of the Daughters and the IHEPAs, respectfully. So
Yeah.
it's a good organization, and nationally and even internationally now, the membership has increased. There's a lot of chapters in Greece. There's a lot of chapters in England and Brussels, and
Yeah.
we're all over Cyprus. And next year the convention will be in Cyprus. So there's a lot of things going on. But I think the biggest thing IHEPA's impact has been on is education. Every Nationally, we give like millions and millions of dollars in scholarships to young Greek Americans, and even not, and they don't have to be Greek, but a lot of young adults that are going to college or to grad school to help them financially.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's really great. Now, who got you into the AHEPA?
Who got me into the ABBA?
Was it, did you get the secret handshake? Gotta watch out for that.
Well, I became a member in 2000, but I would think I was recruited by some of the brothers back then,
Yeah.
because I was involved with city governments back then as well.
Oh, right.
So
Right.
in 2000, I became a member.
Do you think that it's a good place for networking? Say,
It is.
If I join the network, I've been trying for years to get the community
Yeah.
to fund preservation.
Yes.
And it's very, very hard because people just so
Yeah.
don't sit back and be entertained. They
Right.
don't understand
Right.
that we're losing things.
Mm.
So if I got involved with the AHEPA, do you think maybe there'd be an opportunity for me to at least get involved and maybe suggest, hey, how about preserving our past?
Well, I mean, becoming a member, you participate in the meetings, and you can have feedback with the chapter officers and the membership. The Boston chapter, we're like 200 members strong. And,
Is it?
Yeah, and actually we're celebrating our 100th anniversary this year.
No kidding. Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
That's right. It's
for
been
our
100
chapter.
years.
For our chapter,
Yeah.
last year was the 100th anniversary for all of IHEPA.
Right.
So
See, like for example, for your chapter, getting together the history of the AHEPA.
yeah,
And I said
It's
to
important, yeah.
it's really important. We all have to do it. It's not just one person. Let's give him $1 and make him work for
Right.
10 years.
Yeah.
It's we all have to do it.
yeah, definitely.
And I'm sorry again. I'm slipping a little bit
It's
of my
okay.
agenda. And that's what happens.
No problem.
Let's talk about the road in Stratham. What are you gonna do?
Definitely.
Well, it's been really enjoyable. I am glad that you mentioned the AHEPA because I really do feel that the AHEPA does great things, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of good things that happen,
Yeah,
and people don't hear about it.
definitely.
You know, and
Yeah, we're our own worst enemy sometimes. We have items that we do, accomplishments that have occurred, and nobody really knows about them. So we have to do press releases. We have to go out there and present ourselves and say, this is what the AHEPA does. This is what we've done. This is what we can do. And and working together. That's the biggest thing, is working together as partners, as a community, that make things happen. And a lot of times that doesn't happen. And I think if we work together, and especially in these days where it's very tough economically and financially, I think IHEPA can lead the way in terms of educational opportunities for our youth and helping charitable organizations. And IHEPA has a great program. It's the IHEPA Service Dogs program, which helps veterans who have get assigned a service dog, so they can, in terms of their health, and maintain their health and have a more stable lifestyle.
yeah.
And that's been a great successful program, and a lot of people don't even know about it.
No, they
And
don't.
so
Over $500,000 was raised a few years
Yes.
back nationally,
Yeah.
and then I guess it was decided this will be an ongoing
yeah,
program.
it is an ongoing. Yeah, actually, our chapter and the Daughters of Penelope chapter, we have sponsored a dog. The chapter had sponsored a dog on its own, and other Massachusetts chapters have as well. It's a great program. It helps our veterans, and it's something that we need to continue, but we need to support it even better.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can find out about it through the website ahepa.org. Ahepa.org to find out more about the American Hellenic Educational Progressive Association. I got that right, right. Now, when you were growing up, was there, in fact, a Sons of Pericles chapter when you were a young man?
There probably was, but I probably didn't know about it.
I
you know?
actually became a Sons.
Yeah,
I joined the Sons. There was this
yeah,
initiation ceremony, which was really secretive, and we all had
yeah.
this theory about what was going to happen there.
hmm
And then nothing happened.
Yeah,
You know, it just kind of the way things fizzle. Sometimes we
right.
work the front doors very well,
Yeah,
and then we just think if we put a bunch of people in a room,
right.
the magic's going to happen.
Well, the chapter in Boston for the Sons of Pericles, when they first got created a few years ago, that was a point of concern. You organize the chapter, you elect the officers. What happens after that? But the people that were members at that time, they really worked hard. They did events. They went out and did volunteer work, and they raised money, and they were very successful for a long time. But then, once as you get older, some of the members go off to college, or they go get full-time jobs, and things kind of fizzle
They
out a
fizzle a
little
little
bit.
bit,
I mean,
right?
they're still active now. They have new members. They're coming back.
Right.
They're working with the maids. They're working with the Heppens and the daughters.
Nice.
And comes back to my earlier uh, statement about working together in partnership and creating a solid plan of action, working with all the different layers of a HEPA, because we have the daughters, the Heppens, the sons, and the maids.
Right.
And those are four distinct orders within the order of a HEPA. So they all work together. They all do their own fundraising and supporting different charitable organizations. But altogether, nationally and internationally, a HEPA has really been at the forefront of all the Hellenic issues, especially in Washington.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so
That's true. That's
they've
so
done a
good to
lot.
see. Yeah, they've done a lot. Well, I wanted to thank you for coming in this morning.
Thank you
and
for the
taking
opportunity.
time. I hope you
Appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime you'd like to come back, I would love to have you. And it's so nice. Our guest this morning was Alex Geourntas. He is the city clerk for the Boston City Council. I'm sorry, city clerk
City
for the
Clerk.
city of Boston, and he is just very active in his community in Roslindale and in the Greek American community. And such an honor to have you here.
Thank you, Meleti. Thank you for the opportunity. And I just wanted to mention the Greek parade is coming up on Sunday.
Are you going?
I'm going to go, yes.
You are?
And it's a great community event where the city of Boston is always proud to support it and sponsor it. And it's always brought the Greek community together in one location in the capital city of Boston and walk down Boylston Street. And this year it's a little different. We're walking all the way to City Hall Plaza because they redid City Hall Plaza and it's all new and new layout and everything.
Oh, it is? I
Yeah.
haven't been down there.
Yeah.
See, because the original, the parade's like 20, I don't know, way back.
20, yeah.
They were there. The first parade.
At the beginning they were the
They
first
were,
couple of
right?
years, but then they
good.
changed it and it would end at right in front of the Four Seasons Hotel.
Yeah.
But this year it's going to go right to City Hall. They're going to have a flag raising at City Hall at
Right.
the end of the parade, and then they're going to have like some, like a mini festival type thing with dancing
Yes.
and stuff. So
Are you going to the State House ceremony?
I'm planning to. Yes,
Good.
that's actually a good ceremony as well.
It's
It
great.
recognizes the Greek community at the state level, so it's nice.
It's nice. You and I sat next to each other
Yes,
one year.
we did.
It was. I hope I can go this
Yeah.
year. I've got my lemonade stand out there,
Okay.
so gas money kind
That's
of thing.
good. That's good.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you again.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
You're tuned to WNTN 1550 AM in Cambridge, Needham, and Boston, and streaming at GrecianEchoes.com. It's Mondays with Meleti, and your host, Meleti Pouliopoulos.